welcome to the first ever podcast of Amy and Chuck's Excellent Adventure. We don't actually have a title, but I thought that would be a good title, and it's a work in progress. Hi, Chuck.
Hello.
How are you today?
Pretty good. It's a good title until we get that cease and desist letter.
From who, Bill and Ted?
From Bill and Ted.
Does Bill and Ted care? Do they care anymore?
I don't know.
It's referential, you know?
Yeah.
We could say, like,
it's
anything,
a tribute.
Right? It's a tribute. Yeah, a tribute. We're not
should
doing
be very happy.
Yeah.
We're bringing that film back to life.
It's a good film.
It is a very
Good
good
times.
film. Yeah.
Yeah. So we decided that we wanted to do this podcast. We've been talking about it for
Years. It's embarrassing how long it's taken.
It's taken to bring it to life. But we're so excited because today is the very first time we actually are doing it.
That's right.
And Chuck and I have been friends for a long time, and we thought that for some reason we wanted to do a podcast. Why did we want to do a podcast? Do you remember why we started talking about it?
Well, I thought it was a very cool medium, and it was also something that you can talk to your fans and on a different level, right? It's like, this is you, not the character, which is always good.
Yeah.
And
It's a great way to connect with fans. And we always have such good conversations that I was like, this is a person, meaning you, that person. This is a person, I said, this is a person who would be good to talk to. And we have a variety of interests. So we're like a good mix going on.
We crack ourselves up, which is
we
good.
Do. Hopefully.
So we think it's interesting. We think it's funny.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us about yourself? I'll say, well, first, I'm Amy Carlson. I'm an actor, and I am a mom and sometimes activist for things I care about. And yes, that's me. Living here in Brooklyn. What about you, Chuck?
I am Chuck. I am a programmer. Boy, that sounds really boring.
No, it's not, though. You're like cutting edge on the future.
Oh, right.
You're always telling me what's happening in the world.
Yeah. Well, I work on Amy's website, so which we should give a shout out to Sabrina.
Shout out! Oh my gosh, Sabrina, amazing.
Yeah, she has done such a good job in filling the content.
Unbelievable, and I had the distinct honor and pleasure of meeting her in New York last summer, and she might be coming back, so that's great news.
Yep.
And she has curated an incredible amount of stuff for the website, so I'm super grateful about that. And how are you doing today, Chuck? What's going on?
Pretty good. It's a beautiful day in New York.
Finally, right?
Finally.
This is the longest winter ever.
I know, it's like 70 degrees right now. Maybe.
It wasn't like a good winter though, like where there was snow all the time and you were just like trudging around in the snow.
Yeah.
It was just like the cold never ended.
Right. Just miserable winter. I only went skiing one time.
Me too. I only went skiing one time. There was no good snow.
Yeah.
And what's the point of winter if you don't get to ski and play in the snow?
Exactly.
We did go sledding 3 times. We have a park nearby.
Oh.
So that was really fun. Kids love to go sledding. And there's a massive hill and it just gets packed with people. Although some people snowboard, which I think is ridiculous.
You don't like
how can you snowboard around? There are little children on like disc sleds. You know, they're just tiny and they're getting, I mean, they have these dudes like jumping these kids. It's not safe. It's not safe.
Well, jumping how many kids?
Maybe one at a time, you know.
Oh, all right. I mean, what if, you stack them up? Like, could they jump?
Oh, well, then that would be entertaining, yes.
Yeah.
They should have log rolled them.
Right.
And then see how many kids they could jump over.
Do you...
Also not safe, though, by the way. Don't try that.
No, you shouldn't try that. Unless you're really, really good.
Unless you're really good.
Yeah, unless you're really good.
And then you have a camera rolling.
Right.
So other people can see it.
Is it better to jump multiple kids, like you line them up for distance or for height? Like you stack up the kids?
No, distance.
Distance, okay.
Although you could do distance and height if you had one like sitting, then one like kneeling, then one like standing, then one like and you're on a hill.
And right.
So that could be a whole different thing.
Yeah, just get a class to participate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A class. Yeah, just get a class.
Yeah.
Just go to your local PS.
Right.
Go down to
Just
local
ask for some prop kids.
Say, do you have any children that would like to put themselves in harm's way?
Exactly.
No.
For our little videos.
For our videos, right? No. That's a terrible idea.
It is a terrible idea.
Well, you could provide everyone those watermelon helmets, those watermelon bike helmets that really get right to the point that your brains are on the line.
This is our first podcast and we're advocating for children to be in harm's way.
In harm's way.
That's
I don't
perfect.
think this is going so well.
No. We'll edit this part out. It's okay.
Okay, good. So here we are. And what do you have other names that you wanted to name our podcast?
Other names for this podcast?
Yeah. Did you have some things rolling around in your head? I had some other things.
No, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You go.
I don't have any good ones.
What? Oh, remember I was like, Amy asks, "What's up, Chuck? What's up, Chuck?" Oh, wait, I just got that. You see, I'm funny. That's terrible.
That is horrible.
Again, edit.
Yeah, edit. We'll edit.
Maybe we should name it. Edit
that
this.
out.
Edit that out. That's
Great. Welcome to Amy and Chuck's 30-second podcast.
Called Edit That Out.
We edit everything out. Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, so yeah. So we met in New York. We both were doing advocacy on the Lower East Side, trying to stop these damn buses who were proliferating the neighborhood with their pollution, and they wanted to put what?
And drugs and gun smuggling.
Yeah, drugs and gun smuggling. They were bringing it into the neighborhood. Oh boy, this is New York City, though. You know, it's packed full of people.
Yep.
And they had to find a place to dump people in and get people in and out of buses. So they're like, why not Chinatown?
Yeah. No one would complain.
No one complained. It's racist, is what it is.
Yeah.
If I'm just going to go right out there and label it. But it's true that there is a giant population of Chinese folks in the neighborhood who don't speak English and who are new immigrants who just don't complain, and they come from China where they get away with all that shit there. So they would.
Yeah, they some of them don't speak English and they're afraid of cops, and so they're just not used to complaining. So it's a culture of people who don't complain. I can say that. I'm Chinese.
You can say that.
I can get away with it.
Well, and there was there's repercussions, I think, from what I read in our free press.
Right.
For speaking up in China.
Well, yeah. People there's crackdown on free speech, so people are worried, and they really don't go against government officials, which we luckily we have that.
We
freedom.
love to do.
We love doing that.
This is what being American is all about.
Exactly.
If you can't criticize your officials, who can you criticize?
Exactly, and we're complainers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You and I, you mean?
Well, yeah, we're complainers.
Well, let's just say we like to get things done and do things right.
Exactly.
I mean, they can't put a bus next to the only playground in the neighborhood.
Right. It's also the first playground in the country.
It's very exciting. Yeah, the first municipal playground.
That's right.
Ever. Seward Park.
Yep.
So that's where we met. Chuck was making fun of me because at one of the community board meetings, I was sitting there doing my bills, and I was using a calculator. Yes, an actual calculator with buttons.
A big calculator.
It was solar powered, people.
Yeah.
Solar powered.
Yeah.
I still have it. I actually have it right here.
Now, did you find that? Rid of it. Did you find that in a vintage shop?
No.
Or
no.
No.
No. I carried it with me.
Was it from the Smithsonian?
It was from the Smithsonian. It's a Texas Instruments. See, it's right here. BA Solar.
Oh.
And it says right down there at the bottom, business analyst. So if I use this one...
Well, it's more accurate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Chuck's point
not
was
like those inaccurate calculators. We want to use those. No. This one is a business quality calculator.
It's a business analyst. It's like a pocket nerd calculator or whatever. So I was using it to pay my bills. And as Chuck likes to point out, right next to my iPhone, I was typing into a calculator. But it was more satisfying to push the buttons.
All right. You like the click.
I like the click. That's what I was.
Okay.
I think it's better. The BlackBerry. When we got rid of the BlackBerry, we lost something in our culture. Died.
Yeah. Boy, that keyboard.
Just the satisfaction of pushing the buttons. Push those little buttons, and
Have you seen the when people type on those USB keyboards that look like typewriters?
Why? Yeah. I mean, I've seen those. I love those. But I've never tried one. But I like the idea of it.
Click, click. Yeah. Some of them come with those rollers where you instead of the return thing, you have to push this roller across.
Oh, so that would be satisfying. I saw one. My friend has one. It is. I have a cold on the day of our first podcast all these years, and then I have a cold on the day, so forgive that. But anyway, I have a friend who writes on one of those typewriters, and you can't go back. Just like you can't really edit, so it forces you to keep writing.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah, because if you can go back and always be fixing, you stop going forward with your writing, and your artistry is stopped up.
Yeah.
Like my nose today, a little bit like that. We're still recording. This is a miracle.
So, Amy, what's going on? Let's catch up.
Okay, so, well, you know what? Suffer, bear with me. I'm doing a cleanse. A 21-day cleanse, clean program.
Wait, how many days are you
21. I'm on day 5.
Day 5.
And I got a cold. I made this turmeric soup. I think there was too much turmeric. You know, turmeric is like a cleansing, or I don't really know. Like I try to do these healthy things, and I'm just so. The last cleanse I went on, I was taking all these vitamins, and I got my friend to do it with me, and we had lunch, and we were taking vitamins. And my friend Barbara, and she looked at me, and she goes, "So what's in this stuff anyway?" And I was like, "I have no idea." We just kept taking all these vitamins.
Right. Well, that's why you get the cleansing from someone else, right?
Yes, they're professionals.
Exactly. We can't be trusted with making something like this.
No, so I did this.
Probably poison people.
Or myself.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give it to anyone else. But this program I like.
Oh, nice.
Even though, I mean, it's really, you go through this detox.
I tasted the soup. It was excellent.
But strong. Like.
Yeah, strong.
Is it turmeric or turmeric? What do you say?
I don't know. I say turmeric.
I'm going to go with that. I like turmeric. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's good. You get rid of the big 3. Caffeine. I had to quit the caffeine like a week before because I was drinking so much copious amounts of coffee. I love coffee. I'm a Swede.
I'm
going to go back to that too. So, you're a dual citizenship owner. You're owner?
I don't know.
Holder. That's the word.
Holder. I got 2 passports.
That's very cool. I didn't know that. See, I learned some stuff about Chuck every day.
Yeah.
Well, every time I see you.
You know, it's very important these days to have 2 passports in case you got to run.
Yeah.
Who knows when those missiles come flying in?
Well, that's not going to give you enough time to run. I'm just going to break it to you right now.
You're right.
You're going to need more time than that.
Missiles are coming. I'm like booking tickets, trying to find the lowest fare.
Your printer stops working. You can't get the ink. You're low on ink, so you have to unplug the printer, and the missiles are still coming.
Right.
Then you see that there's kayaks, and you're like, oh my god, maybe I could get a better fare elsewhere.
Right. Let me wait 2 days. Yes. Right.
It's not a Tuesday.
That's right. Yeah.
You're like missiles. You have to hold off until it's a Tuesday after 3.
I'm not sure if flexibility in travel is allowed when the missiles are coming in.
No, you just
just pay whatever fare.
I think you
put it on a credit card.
Yeah, you just go.
Yeah, you just go. Yeah. Is that
but
even?
But again, how did we go from having 2 passports to doomsday scenario?
I don't know. I mean, is that a real worry? Do people actually go, oh, missiles are coming? I never really think about it. I mean,
well, I'll tell you, my son, with all this stuff with North Korea, he wakes up at night and comes down, and I'm like, why are you here? And he's like, because of North Korea, and I feel like that's
wow.
An 8-year-old, yeah.
Yeah. How does an 8-year-old know about North Korea?
The news. It's ubiquitous.
Yeah.
Everywhere we go. And probably I should stop watching news. I actually have stopped watching news in front of them because it was too upsetting.
I'm addicted to it.
I know. I am too.
All day, this thing is just running.
I know. Now people are so obsessed with, and everyone's talking about how, we get these alerts. So it's like, you're not only addicted to the news, you're addicted to the speed with which you get the news.
Right. With Twitter, and it comes to you. Mm-hmm. That push technology. And I'm surprised to get any work done.
See, that's how you get your programming knowledge in there. Push technology.
Push technology. There you go. Yeah.
You're throwing out technical terms.
I am.
That's good. So back to the cleanse. So we digress. This is all a digression, by the way. There's not going to be any filter. It's just going to be one. That's what we should call it. Amy and Chuck digress.
Uh-huh.
Why not?
Why not? I'm okay with that.
Did we thank Sabrina? We already recorded once. Did we do this take?
Maybe.
When we thanked Sabrina for helping us? We did. Okay.
We did. Yeah.
So Oh, so the cleanse. So 5 days in, I'm taking these things. I'm feeling great. It's spring. I just wanted to feel, more healthy, basically.
Yeah. Well, we both talked about being healthier.
Mm-hmm. We talk about that a lot. And it's something we'll probably talk about a lot.
Right.
But, sugar's everywhere.
Yeah.
In everything. And I was almost like, I was so excited. I mean, a cleanse is something like, cleanse. But I was really psyched to start the cleanse because it had gotten out of hand.
Yeah.
Went from Christmas, like New Year's, all that sugar, and then into, then there was January. It was pretty good in January. But then Valentine's Day and all that candy rolled, and that rolled right into Easter candy. And I was like, I gotta stop. I gotta get off the candy.
Why are all the holidays celebrated with candy?
It used to be candy. Do you remember as a kid there being this much candy? There's so much damn candy everywhere now.
Yeah.
Like it was a treat.
Right. So
I sound like an old person, but God damn it was a treat.
Yeah, between
now it's everywhere.
Halloween and Easter, right? It's candies all the way through.
Everything. There's candy everywhere.
Yeah. Even like Thanksgiving has nothing to do with candy, but you get that candy corn.
Oh yeah. I thought that was for Halloween.
Well,
it runs. You use the old candy corn,
right,
for the Thanksgiving.
Because then you get to put little candy.
So that's
corns
not really about the candy. That's about like
leftover candy.
Leftover candy. You being thrifty and
right.
You utilizing your leftover candy.
It's the holiday of leftover candy.
Yeah. Yes.
That's what the pilgrims were thinking.
That's what they're thinking of.
Yeah.
They're thankful for the leftover candy from their Halloween celebration.
Boy, we should not teach kids.
No.
We want to put them under snowboards, and now we're
teaching them the wrong
poor
thing
history
about the pilgrims.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's almost May, and you know that joke about the pilgrims, right?
No.
What if April showers bring Mayflowers? What do Mayflowers bring?
Oh,
you know the answer to this one?
Would have to be pilgrims, right?
Pilgrims, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Such a good. That's
a mom joke.
That is not. Yeah, I guess it is a mom joke.
That's a mom joke.
It's actually like a kid joke.
Oh.
An old kid joke. An old kid joke. Those old children. All them old children.
Come on. I'm an old kid.
I think that's good that you're an old kid.
Yeah.
No one wants to grow up and not find, still be in touch with their kid.
I still laugh when, people fart.
Well, that's like a universal joke, right?
All right, yeah. That's true. I can't help myself.
No, yeah. You can't help. It's too funny.
Yeah.
Although, I have a really sensitive nose? Not today because I have my stuffy nose, but I have a really sensitive nose. Like, I can smell a fart a half a mile away almost.
Wow.
Half a block.
Half a block, yeah. So you're just walking down the street in Brooklyn going all right, who let one go?
Olfactory onslaught for me.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
And you live in New York.
And I live in New York.
Boy.
I get on the subway, I can smell. They should hire me to be like a police dog.
But then you're like...
a police bloodhound human person.
You're like living in a war zone.
I know. There are people who have sensitive sniffers, and I'm one of them.
Yeah. Huh.
In fact, in our old neighborhood on Eldridge, there is a street that's like the stinkiest street in New York on Eldridge. Do you know this?
No.
So Eldridge and Broome.
Okay.
Broome between Eldridge and Christie.
Okay, so that's where the
stinkiest block in New York.
That's where the dumpling place is.
Oh, right around the corner.
Yeah.
So what are they doing over there?
I don't know.
They're, I've walked by places in Chinatown where they're stuffing dumplings. Like a guy is stuffing dumplings with a cigarette in his mouth, like with like an ash hanging, like about to fall, and there's like cats running through.
Well, did you see the photos that was published about the dumpling place where there's like a photo, they're in the alley and they're making dumplings and you can see a rat in the photo. Like just on the ground, like a few feet away from this table, they're sitting outside, they're making dumplings, and a rat happened to be caught in a photo.
Well, that's just photographers' good luck. There's nothing more than that to that story.
Yeah.
No, it's, but if you go to other countries and they don't have, some of our laws are a little more strict, but probably you shouldn't have rats near food.
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
Mice droppings.
Yeah, little pieces of fur or something like that fly into your food.
Wow.
Preparing food in the alley
now
is
I'm really glad I'm
generally
on this
frowned upon.
cleanse, see, because I don't have to. I'm eating clean.
Yeah.
No rat dropping dumplings for me this week. I'll do it in 21 days.
That's right.
Back to it.
Yeah.
But that's a good thing. Actually, dumplings are delicious in New York.
They are.
I don't want to give them a bad rap because I used to eat. You can eat for $1. You can get like 5 delicious dumplings.
I know.
Which we have not advocated for at all right now. We've just made them sound horrible.
But you can buy the frozen ones.
That's where the guy is packing them up frozen. I think the fresh ones. You go into the store.
Yeah.
And you see the women right there making them.
Right.
In the nice, clean store.
Right.
They're making the dumplings, and you eat your dumplings.
Yeah.
You can actually see them stuffing, making everything, chopping everything right there on Essex Street.
Yeah.
That place.
So
what's that place called? North
Dumpling. Yeah.
Yeah, those ladies stand back there, perfectly lovely, clean.
I know,
situation.
but their stuffing isn't good.
Wow, what?
It's just there's too much vegetables, not enough meat.
You should complain.
You know,
they're heavy on the scallion, is what you're saying.
You know what? I don't know what they put in it. I don't think it's the heaviness of the scallion. It's just some other vegetables that they put in as like fillers, so they put less meat in it because it's cheap.
Meat's where it's at.
Yeah, the meat's where it's at. Yeah.
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 Oh, like breadcrumbs. They might do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
It's like breadcrumbs, pork,
right.
Scallions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So every year I go to well, not every year, but I go to New Mexico. I go to Taos to ski.
Yeah.
And when I'm there,
is it Taos or Tao or
Taos?
Tao. It's really Taos because the country Lao is spelled like Taos.
Right.
But you say it Lao.
Is that because
and not
of
Laos.
French? Is that was that a French thing, or they just cut off the S at the end when you pronounce it?
I think it's just Lao.
Lao.
It's a French thing, yeah.
Yeah,
because
it
the
must be
French
a
are the
French
people
thing,
who
right?
populate. Yeah, it's exactly like in Vietnam. The French were the ones who were the colonizers of that area. And,
right.
Yeah.
So luckily, Taos.
200 years they were there. Do you know that was that long?
Wow.
200 years in Vietnam.
So
it's crazy.
So Taos is Taos because there's no French people there.
Oh, so it's Taos like and Laos is Lao.
I'm making that up.
There. Taos.
I don't know.
How is the skiing there? I've always wanted to go.
Excellent. It's really, really good. But when I'm out there, I'm always thinking like, you know what Taos needs? A dumpling place.
Ooh, dumplings after skiing could
right?
be quite delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like a cheap food, so you get off the slopes and you just get some dumplings.
Delicious.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea.
I'm gonna go out there and open up a
little
dumpling
shop?
place. Yeah.
To hire someone to do it, you have to be here to do the podcast.
Oh, that's true. I could do it from there.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
If we would get
I'm not
little
gonna
more
stay
high-tech.
there all the time. It just go out there and ski and run my dumpling place.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's seasonal.
Seasonal.
A seasonal dumpling
Right.
house.
It's only open when Chuck skis. It's open 1 week a year.
1 week a year. That's where you skied this year? Was Taos?
No, I went up to what do you call it? Wyndham.
Wyndham's the best one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I like it too.
1 year we had the pleasure of going to Jackson Hole, which I think is stunning.
Yeah.
And then we came back east where the skiing is not as good, but we went to Wyndham. And I was like, you know what? This is doable.
Yeah.
It was actually really enjoyable after coming from Jackson Hole, which to me says it's actually doable. It's nice. I mean, Jackson Hole is Jackson Hole.
It is. It's much bigger.
But it's so far away.
Yeah.
It took us 4 flights to get there.
Wow.
Because it was such a bad snowstorm.
Yeah, and you have 2 kids, so there's 4 of you.
No, well, Syd didn't go because it was right when he started Seth Meyers. So it was that we had this ski trip, and he started linking up with Seth Meyers. So it was 4 years ago. And he couldn't go. So I took the kids, but the flight got canceled, and it was planes, trains, and automobiles. My daughter started crying. Her best friend was there. It was like, just to see her sobbing, I was like, I'm going to do it. So I found a flight. I got us to Indianapolis, then to Dallas, then to Salt Lake City, and then to Jackson Hole.
Wow.
With the 2 kids.
Wow.
It was hell. It was like really like the lower depths of hell. But we did it. Not the skiing, but those 4 flights were like, ooh boy.
So 1 year we should all go out to Taos.
Yes.
It's really nice there.
Yeah, I heard it was really. I mean, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, yeah. So we've never skied together before.
No. Are you a good skier?
I'm a pretty good skier. Yeah, I've been skiing for a long time. I'm not a crazy skier, so my skis are firmly planted.
Yeah.
Like they don't leave the ground
Well, that's
at all.
part of the trick, right? To firmly plant your skis.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You mean you're not like doing like jumps and things?
No, there's no jumps involved.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah. Once I accidentally
sometimes
took air.
Yeah, you take air when you're just like
Yeah.
If there's like a dip or something,
right, and you go,
ooh, yeah, I'm the same way. I grew up in Chicago, so it's flatlands out there.
Oh,
and we would ski at Alpine Valley, and that was the biggest hill.
Yeah.
There was even skiing at a golf course. I'm not kidding you. You could go to a golf course and like ski down the hill at a golf course. So
wow.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a golf course with any skiable type hill?
No.
No.
That doesn't happen.
No. So it's like.
Yeah. Now, what happens
ridiculous.
when you get to the water hazard?
You ice skate. I don't know.
Just slide
See, but
across.
with global climate change, what we're calling it climate change.
Climate change, yeah.
Things don't freeze like they used to, and in Chicago they used to just freeze up all winter long. But Chicago got a lot of snow this year, though. Anyway.
Yeah.
Now we're doing what I've decided the news is. Oh, well, we haven't done crime, but the news is just crime and weather. Crime and weather. And now for your crime and weather.
Crime and weather report?
Yeah, your crime
Is
and
that
weather
a regular thing in our podcast? We're just going to do the crime and weather report?
Well, we were doing a little bit of the weather report. There was a lot of snow in Chicago
right.
this year.
Yeah.
There's the weather.
Yeah.
And crime. Well, we talked about sort of crime a little bit.
Did we?
I don't know. Just the rat in the photo. That's like a health crime. No?
I don't know. It's a food crime for sure.
It's a food crime. So, no, we didn't really talk about crime. That's okay, though. Oh, well, we talked about potential crime, like taking out a bunch of children on a
No, we're gonna edit that part out.
Okay, good. That's terrible.
I know.
Get rid of that.
We're horrible people.
Oh, my God. No. Kids are so cute.
Yeah. Stacked up.
No, we're editing that part out.
All right.
So, what else? Excellent Adventure?
Yeah, so where are you going this year?
Oh, I'm going on an excellent adventure. We're going to go to Africa this summer.
Oh, wow.
I'm planning that right now.
Yeah.
See, I'm a really weird traveler, though. I get they say, I'm in touch with they. They say that almost up to half of your pleasure from traveling comes from the planning of it. Like the anticipation and the check. You get like a endorphin boost from just looking at where you might go.
Right.
And I definitely think this is true because I've been getting that from going to Africa.
Okay.
We're going to Kenya, and then we're gonna go to more safari. We're doing 2 safaris in Kenya, and then we're going to go to Tanzania because I went there years ago when I did relief work in Rwanda after the war. More on that later in upcoming episodes. And I loved Arusha, so I wanted to go back there, but I was like, you know what? I want to go back to Tanzania, but maybe we don't need more safari after 2 weeks of safari. Maybe what we need is Zanzibar.
What's in Zanzibar?
It's the most beautiful beaches.
Really?
You have to look it up.
Huh.
Yeah, blue, crystal blue waters.
Oh.
So I'm like, 3 days in Zanzibar.
Yeah.
And we're right there. Then I'm thinking, why am I even coming back? We should go to the Seychelles, which are right there too.
Right.
Dang. So much to see in this big world.
Yeah.
But that's kind of overkill, don't you think?
Well, how much time are you thinking about?
But it's like you're there.
You're there, yeah.
Anyway.
But don't people have to work? Sid has to work.
Exactly. We have to go back to work.
Yeah.
I know. That's the thing.
That's the problem.
That's the problem. But I think it's really good for the kids to see the world and travel. And I'm like, I've always thrown the kids. They've been so many places. It's good for them.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Well, you traveled a bit when you were young, right?
I did. My parents were teachers, so every summer we would travel.
Yeah.
They have time off. That's the thing about being a teacher. That's the best. One of the best parts. The rewarding parts are teaching with the children and all of this.
Right. But I mean, look what's happening today. Well, all the teachers are not getting paid enough money.
They've never been paid enough money.
They're on strike.
They've never been paid enough money. One of my earliest memories, this is probably why I'm an activist, is about things I care about, is one of my earliest memories is being in the back, or in a wagon, like a little red radio flyer wagon with my dad on strike in Chicago.
Wow.
Yeah.
What did your dad teach?
He taught high school English for years, and then he went on to be a guidance counselor later. And my mom was a first grade teacher, and she's been a kindergarten teacher, and she's been a fifth grade teacher, and she's taught all kinds of things. So. And
your mom is very interesting because she
lives in Egypt.
Egypt.
She's a turtle saver. She works really hard. Look, I'm going to show Chuck a picture while we're here, because we're in my office, which is basically just a room in my house. It's like a glorified closet.
Oh.
But what office isn't? So there's I'm looking at a picture of my mom holding a big sea turtle. So she lives in Egypt as a teacher. That's
pretty
bizarre.
amazing. Yeah.
But she's been there for 10 years, and she got really into saving turtles because it's a different culture, and they don't really look out for turtles and animals, and it's just not taught culturally. So she's part of an early movement of people helping to educate them about the importance of.
Well, do they hunt them, or what do they do with turtles?
They can eat them or have them as pets, or so what my mom and they do is they buy them back from restaurants, and sometimes they're swimming in a large tank.
Yeah.
Like it decoratively. And sometimes they're going to eat them.
Wow. Okay.
But it's not like a staple or anything. You know?
Right.
It's just, I guess they consider it a delicacy or something.
Right.
But they just buy them back, and they raise money. They buy the turtles back. It's a very small operation. We just buy the turtles back. Let them go.
Yeah, let them go. Just take them to the ocean.
And they'll have sometimes they carve into their shell Arabic writing and things like that.
Oh.
But then they put them on the beach, and they just know which way to go. My mom was like, they just know where they're going.
Right.
They get the hell out of Dodge.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. After sitting in that restaurant, they're like, get me back in the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to swim with turtles in Hawaii.
Where? Oh.
Yeah. I was just swimming, and then these turtles just came up. Yeah.
Aren't they the most incredibly
They're
beautiful
amazing.
creatures?
Yeah. Yeah. And one time I was like kayaking in Virgin Islands, and I was just going along, and all of a sudden this giant turtle just came right up next to me. I mean, it looked like a Volkswagen coming out of the water.
They're that big, right?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, so I might have peed a little bit, but it was fine.
Wait, who you or him?
Me.
Wait, because you were afraid?
Really scary. This thing just came up. I wasn't expecting it, and then.
So you decided to just pollute the waters with pee?
It was only in the kayak.
I'm just kidding. I think you're fine. I think the turtles are peeing in the ocean too.
Yeah, they might be. Yeah. Little turtle restrooms.
So then you had to sit in your pee for a little while.
Well, yeah.
You could have done one of those loop-de-loops in the kayak, right?
I could have.
Maybe it wasn't one of those kind of kayaks.
Well, once you see like an animal come out of the ocean, then all of a sudden you're thinking like, well, there's probably sharks. Like, when does this shark coming up? So.
See, that would make me pee.
Yeah.
I'm with you on there. That
one. Yeah.
In the Virgin Islands, sharks. Are there sharks over there?
Yeah.
There has been shark attacks in Hawaii too. I think
recently.
Recently there was a shark attack.
Yeah.
A dad and his son, but they told them don't go out there. There's sharks.
Right.
I think that makes me crazy. Why, when someone says don't go out there, there's sharks? Or how about all those sharks off the coast, the southern coast of the United States? Mm-hmm. The shark attacks.
Yeah.
And it turns out they were dumping chum into the water.
Oh.
For sightseers and stuff.
Oh, jeez.
And then they were like. Come on, people. We're all in this together.
Yeah.
Gotta think about other.
But if somebody says, there's a shark, like I don't touch the water. If there's a shark, I don't even turn on the faucet.
No, why would you? It could come through the faucet.
Know.
I've seen that in a cartoon.
Yeah.
The shark just came right out of the faucet.
Just come right at you.
Yeah.
Land shark.
Land shark.
Do you remember the land shark thing?
I do.
Oh.
It's so good.
Are we dating our age here? Yeah, that's bad.
We are. It's fine. You can check it out on YouTube, Land Shark. My son got a shark hat this over the winter holidays. So it's like looks like a land shark.
Yeah.
His head pokes out of the shark's mouth. It's very cute.
What was the thing? Was it Miley Cyrus? Super Bowl?
Was she a land
Dancers dressed as sharks. Do you remember that?
No. Did she do the Super Bowl?
You know what? I don't remember. I just remember there was like something with people with sharks. We'll put this in our show notes.
Yeah.
We will.
Links.
Yeah.
Link in bio.
We're going to fact check ourselves.
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, although we haven't been spewing too many facts, have we? What's a fact that could be checked? Rat in picture.
Rat in picture. We can definitely check
fact check that.
Land sharks.
Land sharks. But we know they exist. What's to check?
Guns and buses.
Guns and buses, Chinatown. That's for sure.
Yeah, we can check that.
Yeah. But no one even believes what's for sure anymore.
No.
Like, you could print something and people don't believe it.
Right. Like, people believe that the Earth is flat.
People, we've been to space, which they probably don't believe either.
They don't believe that either.
The same people think that we haven't gone to space.
Exactly.
People, we've been to space.
But, it's pretty easy to check, right? I mean, you just get a balloon, right?
Yeah.
You fly a balloon way up there.
Yeah.
You have to go pretty far up. You have to go like 15,000 feet or something. You have to go higher than the top of Mount Everest to see curvature.
We wouldn't be able to breathe then.
Right. So you got to get one of those spacesuits, like that Red Bull guy that jumped out of a balloon.
Elon Musk?
No, Elon Musk.
I read that Elon Musk was going to do like a space hotel. It's like $750,000 a night.
Wow. We can fact check that.
I read it somewhere, but I don't know if it's a fact. But $750,000, you can stay in a hotel that orbit the Earth a night. Who has that kind of money?
I think Zuckerberg. Yeah, he could stay there forever. Yeah. He's like, I've moved here. It's my new condo. He's president of the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can do that.
He can do whatever he wants. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to nerd out completely with the disparity of wealth, there's quite a few people who can afford it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially so Manhattan real estate, for example, right? Every year it goes up. The average one bedroom is more than $1 million now. Yeah. Right. But it's like all the wealthy people in the world are moving here. Yeah. So it's there. Yeah. So basically there's a lot of Manhattan apartments that are completely empty because the owners are foreign and they only come here once a week or once a year or something like that. And then they just stay and they don't care.
Yeah. Russian oligarchs.
Yeah. What's $1 million for them? Nothing.
Yeah. Whereas there's a lot of New Yorkers who need housing. Yeah. And then all these apartments are sitting empty.
I was reading that Zuckerberg during the Senate hearing, his wealth was increasing by $10 million a minute during the testimony.
Just sitting there.
Just sitting there.
Well, I mean, he was kind of in the hot seat, but he can go back to his living room and sit there and make $10 million a second, right?
Right. But I'll sit in the hot seat for $10 million a minute.
He is, it's hard to fathom someone like him. He'll be the wealthiest man. He'll beat Bill Gates. Yeah. It's just a matter of time.
But how much money
How much does one person need?
Yeah, exactly. Like can your life really improve after a certain amount?
No.
No. Like
it can give you comfort.
Well, how much more comfort? If you had $100 million versus $1 billion, right?
That's even like ridiculous numbers. Yeah.
Yeah, but is a person who has $1 billion that much more comfortable?
No.
No.
The only thing, like, I imagine you have nothing to worry about.
Right.
Except your health. That's it.
So the only difference is gold-plated toilets versus platinum toilets. That's about it.
But why do you even care about the toilet? Why can't you just have a normal toilet?
I don't know.
Trump has a gold toilet.
Yeah, he does have a gold toilet.
But what's the point of it? I don't get it.
I don't know.
I mean, not to get graphic, but poo's a poo.
That's right.
It doesn't matter if it's in a gold bowl or a porcelain bowl. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And you want to have a good bowl, right? It doesn't matter what it's made of.
As long as it flush, got a good flusher, that's it.
Yeah. I hate those bowls where like when you push the button down and the water slowly comes in.
No.
Like it has to be like a vortex.
Yeah.
Right? It has to like maybe suck down into another universe.
Yeah,
like a wormhole toilet.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I learned at a very young age how to fix a toilet bowl because like some people, they don't, they're afraid to lift that lid on the back. Do you lift the lid on the back?
Oh yeah, sure.
People won't do it.
Sometimes that chain falls off.
Yes.
You got to stick your hand in the
water.
water.
I think there's like a small community of people in this world who know how to fix toilets and who actually do it.
I fixed a toilet recently.
I'll fix it in a restaurant. I don't care. If it's not working, it's not my job, but...
Right. But let me tell you
I stick my nose in there and make it my job.
Let me tell you the part that I fixed, right? And this is a rarity.
Yeah.
There's a ring between the tank and the bowl.
Yeah.
And that was leaking. So I had to lift the whole tank up, replace the ring.
Were you at your house?
No, it was at LB's house.
Okay.
Yeah, but I had to fix that.
I thought you were in a restaurant. That's really going the extra mile.
I know. If I went to a restaurant and did that, I would. I just, put my own sign like out of service and run over to the plumbing supply.
You have to get the ring. You can't just.
Right. You got to get the
I'm
ring.
talking about you just like a little handiwork where you just lift that top off, make sure that it's
right. Sometimes that handle is stuck.
The mechanics of the toilet bowl are very fascinating.
Yeah.
I saw a toilet bowl recently that looked like instead of there being a hole at the bottom and that big ball that looks like a sinker, a balloon going up and down. This one had a trough that filled up and then dumped in the top.
Oh.
So I think that maybe it used less water. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like the trough would fill, and then when it got to a certain point and filled up enough, then it would tip to the side and dump over the water.
Oh,
so it wasn't like you had to fill up the whole bowl. Like
right. Well, that's pretty cool. I mean, you could just put like a brick.
I saw it in a restaurant when I was in there fixing the toilet.
Yeah. Last week.
I was the toilet wasn't flushing, so I lifted up the bowl.
Right. So
I discovered a new kind of tank, and I was like, this is interesting. Yeah. I'm going to have to add this to my repertoire.
Right. So how many restaurants have you serviced?
I'd say between 6 and 10.
6 and 10, yeah.
In like the last month. No, like in like the last couple of years.
All right, yeah.
I don't do it all the time.
No. But toilet technology hasn't changed.
No.
It's like the only thing that doesn't change.
No.
Has it? Have you seen?
Well, I'm saying that's what surprised me is this new technology with the trough. I think it was a water saving situation.
I don't know. Like water saving, you just put a brick in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So that less water.
Less water. Yeah.
Yeah. Haha. Tips by Amy and Chuck.
That's right. But
life tips.
So I've thought about this. So
that was your tip. So I got to get a tip in here somewhere. I don't know where.
I've always thought about like living off the grid. So one day when I retire, I want to live off the grid, right?
Yeah.
Now, and I've put a lot of thought into this. So a lot of people would say, get a compost toilet, right? You're off the grid. You're probably.
What's a compost toilet?
Well, it's like a regular toilet, but it doesn't use water.
Whoa.
I know, it's crazy. You put like sawdust in there or something, but I can't do it.
This way you don't have to have a septic, build a hole in the yard for the stuff to go in with, like a leach field
bucket.
And all that
you gotta empty a bucket.
Oh, at the compost toilet, you have to empty a bucket.
Yeah, I gotta empty a bucket. So
you might as well just have an outhouse at that point.
Right. So I think,
although it's probably in the house, right?
Yeah, it's in the house. Yeah, I actually stayed at a place in Taos a few years back at a compost toilet. So you put the sawdust in there, right?
So you go in, you're like, I'm gonna use the toilet. So you got a little scooper. Is there there's a bucket nearby?
Yeah. You scoop stuff into the toilet after you've done your business, and then there's a little knob.
Yeah.
You turn the knob, and it I guess it moves the excrement waste out to the bucket.
You know what you're describing right now?
What?
A kitty litter.
Yeah. It's a human-sized kitty litter. Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
And they have automated kitty litters, so they must have made it for cats and be like,
hey,
holy crap, we could do this for humans.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. But I just figured out I would never do that. Like I'm so lazy. I have to move I'm like the laziest, like off-grid person. So
what would you have to do?
Yeah.
Because eventually, like the kitty litter, you got to empty out the waste.
Right.
So you have it in the composty bag, and you take it out to where?
You dig a hole, put it in the hole.
You know what that's called? A biff.
A biff?
Yeah, build a biff. You ever hear about that?
No.
Building a biff?
No.
Yeah, when I was, it's something, I think it's something from the Bible. They build a biff. This is our fact check. We're going to have to fact check this for sure.
Yeah.
But I was on a hiking trip in junior high with my youth group, and the leader said, build a biff. And I think he showed me something in the Bible where I don't know, maybe Abraham built a biff first. He had a lot of kids, and it's basically a hole in the ground, and they call it a biff.
What did Noah do?
Well, he was on the ark. He peed like you in the water. Like
they just go off the side?
Yeah, like you did in the kayak. That's what Noah did. He was an early precursor to...
Right. So you're going on the safari. Do you know what happens to elephant dung?
No.
So if you think about it...
I didn't think about that for a second.
Yeah, like there's elephants out there.
No.
They poop all over the place.
Yeah.
Right? Wouldn't I don't know, 50 years, wouldn't the whole plains be covered in elephant dung?
Yeah, but they're not.
They're not.
Why?
Dung beetles.
Oh, I've seen pictures of those little critters. Oh, well.
So they can actually go through like a whole pile of elephant dung in a couple of days. And they burrow into the ground and they pull it into the ground. That's what happens to poop.
You would think it would be better fertilized in Africa. Maybe it is.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you after I go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. I lived in the Middle East growing up, and we would go out and see the Bedouins, who were the nomadic people. And you know what they would use for their fire?
No.
Donkey dung.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
You dry the donkey dung out.
Right.
Or the goat. Well, donkey dung's better because it's more of like a charcoal briquette-sized.
Yeah.
You want a charcoal briquette-sized dung. You dry that out, and what do they eat? Grass.
Right.
So they poop grass. So you dry it out.
Yeah.
It's like charcoal.
That's brilliant.
It was amazing.
Does it smell bad?
No, because it's very pure. It's just grass.
Yeah.
It smelled like burning dung. No, it smelled like burning grasses. Sort of like an earthy burning grass.
I don't know if I would use that for barbecuing, though.
I'm telling you, it was fine.
It was fine?
Totally fine.
Like, it's not going to be a musky flavor to your hot dogs that you didn't expect? A little dungy flavor?
Maybe, but that could be the newest, the newest fad. Musky, dungy hot dogs.
Right.
Chicago's ready.
Right, yeah, there you go.
They are, along with the Red Hots. It's good.
So that's one thing we have in common is Jordan.
Oh, wait, how do we have Jordan in common?
Well, you've been out there. I've been out there many times.
Where?
Amman.
Did you go to Petra?
Petra, Jerash.
Petra is my happy place.
Really?
Yes.
Have you been there recently?
The last time I was in Petra was 2 years ago.
Oh, so that's pretty recent. Yeah. I love Petra.
It's amazing.
Except
it's built up a lot.
Yeah, they're putting tour buses through it and stuff.
But they can't fit them into Petra. They have to get tour. They have to get out of the bus. That's the good news.
I heard they're building a little tram, like a train thing in there.
No, it'd be terrible.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of Petra is that you got to walk in.
Right, and that's it.
If you can't walk, they have donkeys and burros and things that can take you in.
And then barbecue.
And then you could barbecue afterwards. They should have a little Red Hat stand.
Yeah.
Down at the end.
Yeah, but there's a tomb.
It's literally one of the most beautiful places in the world.
It is, and there's the.
If you don't know Petra, so Petra is where the Nabataeans lived. It's in the south part of Jordan, in the Middle East, and it's carved into red rock. All of these homes and spaces, and famously in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Is it the Temple of Doom?
No, it's not the Temple of Doom. We can fact check this.
We'll fact check which Indiana Jones it was.
Last Crusade, maybe.
Oh, maybe it was. Oh, yeah. I think it was the Last Crusade. So he's walking down this very narrow, rocky thing, and then he comes upon the treasury, which is this orange, red, glowing, carved building in the rocks.
Which wasn't a treasury, right? It was
it's called the treasury, yeah.
But it wasn't an actual treasury. It was like a burial thing, right? I thought all of those things were for burials.
No, that was the treasury. That was an actual treasury. But, the Nabataeans were the last people to be conquered by the Romans because they were so protected in that area.
Right.
So one side you could get, it was that narrow thing you saw Indiana Jones walk.
Right.
And then the other side is the Continental Divide, so it's just a drop-off.
Right.
And they you know how they conquered them finally?
No.
The aqueduct.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because you could see the aqueduct.
You could see it
very
traveling.
high up.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So they cut off their water supply. They found the aqueduct, and that was it.
Amazing.
But they were the last civilization to be conquered by the Romans in that time.
Yeah, and I've always wanted to go there and hike to the tomb of the Roman soldier. Do you know about that?
No, the farthest thing out I've ever been to there is the monastery.
Okay. So once you get into Petra, you have to get a guide, and they'll take you out to an outpost where a Roman soldier had died. That was the furthest outpost of the Roman Empire in that region. And there's like a tomb there.
Weird.
It's like, so
I don't know about
way
this.
out there. So, but people don't go there because you have to go with a guide and a camel or something, or a horse, and
camel, horse,
ride a couple of days.
Yeah.
I would do that.
Yeah. When we were there, it was funny. The last time I was there, the horses, you could take a horse down to the entrance, but then you had to get off the horse and then rent a different horse if you want to take a horse further in.
Right.
Because my mom, her knee she had whatever injury. So we're like, we'll put you on a horse. And then they're like, no, this is where we stop. There's like different unions of horse riders in between. And they just like a random spot, It was so funny.
Yeah. And you see all the, there's a Roman Colosseum in there.
Yeah.
And there's all these broken pieces of bones or potteries and stuff because there was a big earthquake there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I love it there. And Amman is an incredible city.
It is.
Yeah, I lived there growing up. You know that?
Wow, I did not know that. I still have friends there.
My friends were teachers there.
Ah, okay.
There's no phone book there. I wonder if there's a phone book now. We have to fact check it.
Yeah, there's probably a phone book.
There's a lot of A's.
Yeah, there's.
It's a common beginning of a name.
Yeah, it's a common end too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Names backwards would still be a lot of A's.
Yeah.
So my last trip there, I was there for a wedding. I was the best man at a wedding. And so I learned to drive all over Amman because I had to pick people up from airports and take them to their hotels.
That's intense driving.
That's a lot of driving.
It's not Egypt, but it's Jordan is much more civilized, the driving.
Right.
They've got cops with
machine guns and...
No, the speed...
Oh, yeah.
They check your speed by radar.
Right.
Those speed radar guns.
They're just standing like on the street corner everywhere.
Yeah. Cops?
Yeah.
It's very safe.
It is.
It's not chaotic like Egypt.
Yeah. So it was enjoyable. But I did have somebody point a gun at me.
Oh.
Yeah. So...
That's unpleasant.
Yeah, it's very unpleasant.
What's that story? Who pointed a gun at you?
So we were heading towards the wedding, and there was a bus. We had like all the guests were in a big bus, and those streets can be very crowded, and the bus basically sideswiped, like scraped another car. So the whole procession, the whole group stopped, and I get out of the car to go over to see what happened, and there's all this damage to this car. So I pulled out my camera and I started taking pictures of the damage. Mm-hmm. And apparently in the background of what the pictures I'm taking is an embassy. Oh. And I don't know which country's embassy, but all the security people came out at me with guns drawn.
Oh my God.
And I didn't know what was going on. I don't speak any Arabic. Mm-hmm. They were shouting at me, and a consulate official came out and told me that you're not allowed to take pictures here because the embassy is right behind the bus.
Sure.
And they went through the camera and they deleted a whole bunch of pictures. So,
whoa.
Yeah. So that was my,
That's freaky.
Getting guns pointed at you, not fun.
No. We had when I was living there, the King Hussein's kids were going to the same American schools we were going to, and they were driven around in these Mercedes. There's a lot of the same Mercedes. Yeah. They look the same, whatever. To a Luddite, some kid threw his backpack into thinking it's like his driver, because there was a couple of wealthy kids who had drivers. He thought it was his car, so he threw the backpack into what he thought was his car, and it was one of the princess's cars, and the whole thing went. Yeah, they shut that place down.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was like we were playing a t-ball game at the time. Anyway, don't put your backpack into somebody else's car. This is the lesson of the day. See, I have a tip. That's my tip. You had your tip was better though. What was your tip?
I have one.
Yeah, you had one.
Dung beetles.
No, it was a fact. I forget. But anyway.
We'll edit that out.
Yes.
All right. Well.
So that was great. Yeah. We had our first podcast.
First hour of podcasting.
So chit chat.
Yeah.
Chit chat with Amy and Chuck.
Chit chat
with Amy and Chuck. What's the other one?
Excellent adventures.
Excellent adventures.
Yeah.
I had a good one there somewhere.
I don't know. Maybe we'll do this as like an audience contest or something.
Oh yeah, it's a good idea.
Oh hey, by the way, so we had a giveaway.
Yes.
And so I want to announce the names.
Oh, do.
So we have Mark from Libertyville, Illinois.
Oh my God, Libertyville.
Yeah,
I know exactly where that is. Hi, Mark.
Cap. And the fleece vest went to Aiden in Levittown.
Nice.
And the DVD went to Nadine in Berlin.
Oh my gosh. Well, hi, Nadine in Berlin. Wait, and what was the other one?
Aiden.
Hi, Aiden. That's awesome.
Yeah. So we have more stuff to give away.
I love it.
Yeah. So we'll be sending those out pretty soon.
Fantastic.
And
thanks for participating.
Yeah.
And congratulations.
Yeah. All right. So we'll have more prizes to give away.
Yay.
So
yeah, we'll do some more stuff.
Keep your eye on for that.
Keep your eye and your ear on. This is Amy and Chuck signing off. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.